Hey.
Hey.
Welcome to the show.
Hello. The show is here.
We are here.
Did we want to do the shout out?
Yeah?
Yes, of
Yes.
course. I've gotten a letter. Actually, it is a package this
I
time.
think it hit your head a little bit too hard.
Mm.
Yes, it is quite three-dimensional and quite
Yes.
full of something that doesn't quite jingle but doesn't quite thud. It's like a pitter pat inside the package. Let's
That
go
doesn't
ahead.
sound ominous
What?
at all.
It
Slide.
sounds like an egg is in there or
Or
something.
a frog.
Who would
Who would
send
do a
me
frog?
an egg or a
No,
frog?
no live animals, please, in any mail or packages
Right.
we receive.
Okay. I'm going to open it.
Okay.
Oh, it's from my friend Javanos. And he
Oh.
says, oh, look, a spicy pepper. Eat at your own risk, my friend. Okay, well, here it goes.
Oh.
Juicy, a little bit of sweet. Yeah, it's a good
Not-
pepper.
Is it spicy? Does it taste like anything?
What's spicy?
Oh dear.
You
I
don't
mean,
know what's
like
what do you
like-
mean spicy?
sexy?
No.
No.
Like
No.
predominantly what spicy is. Like Hot
Listen,
food,
Ambrose,
like-
it does not taste. It is not hot. It has not been cooked, and it is not spicy because it is not wearing a single little fishnet over its little
That's fair. There's
jalapeno Javanos pepper body.
So I'm sure it's fine then.
I'm so
Yeah.
confused.
Here, Ambrose, just try some. Just try some. Here,
okay.
it does not taste. It
I mean, it seems
You okay there,
are
Ambrose?
you all right?
So is it spicy,
Oh
Ambrose?
no. Oh God.
I think
What
it's
do I have?
There is nothing sexy about what's happening to Ambrose.
No.
It's
It's-
not.
I
it's
think
so
he's crying.
spicy.
Are you all right?
Yes.
What? Why would you take a second
Why are
bite?
you still eating it?
It's getting good.
It does not look good, Ambrose.
Oh,
Maybe
Yes.
turn
That
it
was-
into a salsa.
That was
A
not.
Traileys. I pull up my pocket lime and I
Pocket
give it to a
lime?
Traileys.
What you want me to try? I,
Pocket lime, and I
No.
give... Go ahead.
Javanos, I appreciate the gift. I'm not putting that in me.
Oh no. Okay. Perfect. Ambrose, are you all right? Do you
Yeah,
need?
it's... I'm good.
Thank you,
Honestly, this is bad
Javanese.
enough.
Thank you for your gift, Javanos. It made Ambrose very sweaty.
It kind of made him cry. Thanks.
No, it didn't.
Welcome to Power Word Fail, a Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition actual play live show, starring Ian.
Ambrose, we saw it in. Let's keep our heads down this time.
Nathan.
A Traileys. That's as far as I got.
Fear
Ferric. Untrusting.
Katie.
Adolia Rowan, bearer of the hero's light.
And Andy.
Pickles, or Eric, or whoever else is in my head right now. I don't really know.
And I am the Dungeon Master Cody, and this is episode 55 of Power Word Fail. Last time,
After their icebreaker game took a dark turn with the reveal that Pickle's head is full of memories that are clearly not her own, the failures continued their trek towards Everton the following morning. Fighting rough roads and worsening weather, The party arrived at a river crossing and encountered a stranger on a bridge. The man introduced himself as Scamandius and entreated the failures to help him fight a monster in a nearby cave that he had tried and failed to defeat on his own. The party grew suspicious of him, however, and instead offered him the gift of gold and the suggestion that he return home and take up some sort of trade less dangerous than monster hunting. He agreed, and the party pushed towards their destination for a while longer, until they are forced to seek shelter from an oncoming storm. As they made camp for the night, they discussed the issues of Pickle's memories from the time of Eric the Terror, and Ambrose suggested it might be possible to learn more, including Pickles into a dreamlike state with the help of Ferric's ritual herbs. Ferric and Pickles both imbibe some psychedelic tea, and Adalia was able to use detect thoughts to help them navigate. They learned that Eric had fallen in love with his court wizard, Vinny, and that they had conspired together to bring about some sort of catastrophic crystal-related destruction of the elves.
You got
At the end of their time together, a mortally wounded Eric had allowed Vinny to channel his life force into more evil magic workings, and that his spirit had then been forced to wander the throne room in Mornstead since then. Shaken, the party rested for the night before resuming their journey the next day, where they were once again encountered by Scamandius alongside the road. He declared that he decided to go to Everton instead of returning home, and that the party reluctantly allowed him to join their wagon until they arrived at the city gates. The failures were able to convince the guards to allow them to enter, but Scamandius was left outside because they refused to vouch for him.
Yeah, no one likes that dude.
No one
so
likes
sketchy.
Scamandius.
He's
sucks.
all right.
So
He's on
sketchy.
his own journey.
Scam.
Scam,
Andius.
Andius.
Well, there you have it. So we left off as you guys entered the town of Everton there. It is fairly dark. The streets are not lit. The guards go back to their post and kind of point you in the direction of the tavern. They'll take you in there.
Thank you.
And they kind of just leave you to your dealings. There's no one on the street.
No guards or anything?
Yeah, you do see the guards up at their post as they walk back.
But no, like, wandering guards?
You don't
Just
see any
empty?
patrols.
Is there a curfew here?
It would seem so. Shall we try the tavern, see what we can learn?
All right. Makes me nervous.
Does anybody need any light?
No, darling, I'm perfectly fine.
Good,
Pickles,
thanks.
do you have your flamingos?
Yes, I've got my glowing circles and my birds. Might look funny, but I'm good.
All right. So you make your way to the tavern. You see a big sign with a steer's head, and it says Bull's Head Tavern. You go in, I take it?
Yeah.
Inside, you see, the same thing you'd come to expect from any tavern. Various waiters and waitresses bringing patrons drinks. It's fairly crowded. There's just a lot of drinking and partying going on. You see everyone seems to be in really great spirits. Nothing
What
too
is-
out of the ordinary.
What is the fashions here? Are they still wearing togas, or are they wearing
that's-
more like?
Really good question. Yeah, you seem to notice that the guards are wearing slightly modified versions of the like soldier armor that you've seen from Ordomall. It's a little bit more reinforced, but you obviously can tell that they lose a lot of mobility. And the people in the tavern here are dressed something what you'd expect of people back in Mornstead, to be honest with you. A little bit more casual. Like, there's definitely a lot more chest hair exposed than you would, there's a lot less fully buttoned up nobles in here. But it's the same kind of style as Mornstead.
Does it seem like the tavern is well supplied with food and water and other beverages, or is there any kind of notable shortage?
You definitely don't see a whole lot of food going around. You definitely see plenty of drink.
Okay.
Well, this is nice, right?
Yes, it seems more normal than whatever was going on elsewhere.
Good.
This feels kind of like Mornstead a little.
Right. A little normal is good, right? Think we've earned it?
I don't trust it.
Why are people here if there's no one on the streets? They've taken notice of us, right? Like, we're in the doorway,
Yeah.
5 strangers, 6 strangers.
Do they seem alarmed by us? Like
No.
are strangers unusual here? Okay.
They do all stop for a moment when you walk in and like look at you, like that maybe that Western moment when you walk through the. But
The swinging doors.
they immediately go back to their business.
Varric will saunter over to a open table and sit down and kind of like pat the seats on either side of them.
Yeah.
Adolfo?
Atreides
I'll
will
take a
go
random chair.
first to the bar and then try to order drinks for the table.
Sure. The bartender
Drinks and
is,
information if it's in supply.
Oh yeah. The bartender is washing a cup when you approach. He says, "Oh, hello there. The name's Miles Jenkins. What can I get for you, stranger?"
Greetings, Miles. Drinks, information for me and my friends there at the table.
What do you have? An ale? Wine?
We'll do a round of wine, a bottle of wine for the table.
Excellent. He kind of reaches behind him, pulls out a bottle from the... You notice that they're kind of running low on bottles, but he definitely has enough to, like, party through the night.
Okay.
He hands you one. That'll be... He kind of eyes you up and down. That'll be 50 silver.
50 silver. All right. Fair enough. I'll hand it over, head back to the table with the bottle and glasses.
Yeah. So as you guys kind of glance around the room, Ambrose, give me a perception check.
Yeah, definitely.
Hmm.
25. Ooh, man.
Nice.
Wow.
Thank you.
Yeah. Ambrose, you immediately clock this guy. You haven't seen him for a long time. He's not too tall. He's wearing, you recognize him by his hat. He always has this extremely vibrant hat, and he's sitting alone at a table drinking, which is a little bit different because you know him to be kind of a social butterfly. But you recognize this as Brahm, Evangeline's fiance.
I roll my eyes and put my face like cupping over mine, and I just sit at the table and I nurse the glass of wine that's about to be given towards me.
Ferric will take interest and try to. Can I insight check my dear friend Ambrose?
Absolutely.
I'm excited. I know that I'm not Evangeline, but I'm very excited.
I'm not necessarily hiding it. This is more of like, oh my god. Like, this is more of like,
Yeah, I would say
Adelia's
you can all tell
pleased.
something's up, but
yeah.
Atreides, you can literally follow his eye line to the man that's bothering him.
Ambrose, do you know him?
My eyes slowly tread towards Adalia. That's Evangeline's fiance.
What?
Ex-fiance.
Where? And Ferric stands up and looks around the room.
I like grab Eric as quickly as possible with my gauntlets of ochre power, and I like pull him back down. It's like,
Oh, Ambrose, that hurt my butt so much. My precious, beautiful butt.
we can't let people know that
Oh.
we're here, right?
Ambrose, be careful with Ferric's butt, first of all.
I
Sorry.
need that
Second of all-
things.
Priorities.
I thought
Second of
the
all,
feathers would stop it.
why wouldn't you want to speak to your friend's fiance?
Aren't we
Does he
supposed to be
know?
undercover?
Does he
Does he
even
know?
No. And frankly, Evangeline wouldn't give a shit if he didn't know.
Oh.
So, but
Well, I mean,
it wasn't really mutual. It was just kind of like a.
What is he doing here? Was he a great traveler? He's quite far from Mondstadt.
we should just go talk to him.
Excellent.
I'll invite him over.
Oh,
I wave to a waiter or waitress.
Oh, hello there. What can I get you?
I like
Would
to
you
buy
like
that
something
man a
to
glass.
eat?
I like to buy that man a glass of whatever wine he wants.
Oh, absolutely. Let me go put your order in.
And then after the waiter kind of drops it off and like, refer that I paid for it, I will like take up my glass, do like the whole like smooth talker rich formality face, and I will raise a glass towards Brahm.
The rest of us are not doing that face.
No, that's
Adelia's just waving.
we all do it.
Yeah, he'll kind of do the same motion back. He'll sniff the wine, do that whole like sommelier thing.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, and take a sip of it, and then he will stand up and pick up his lute and march on over. Oh, hello, Ambrose. It is a pleasure. What brings you to Everton?
Brahm, I totally forgot about your incredible persona. How have you been?
Ah. He bows.
Ferric is gonna grab Adalia and like pull her close and just whisper in Adalia's ear, "I hate this guy. What is wrong with this guy? Who? Why is Ambrose friends with that guy?"
Glorious. This is the best thing. Hello. I'm Adolia. This is Ferric.
Tis a pleasure.
Hello,
Ambrose,
hello.
Hello.
to the rest of your friends.
Pleasure. Won't you join us?
He looks around and pulls up a seat.
Oh, you're just going to sit here. Okay.
Brahm, is it?
That's what joining you means.
Yes,
Of
yes,
course
no,
it is.
yes, absolutely.
Of
Good
you
to
just
hear
get,
you
like-
again, Brahm.
Punched in the stomach or something? Why do you sound like that?
This is my normal timber.
Ferric's going to kick Pickles' shin under the table.
How? What?
Well, you're an old friend then of Ambrose's. How delightful. We weren't certain
yes.
he had any old friends.
Ambrose goes so far back. I've been a friend of his for as long as I can remember.
It seems like a tale.
To my 5th birthday party.
Oh.
Wow. It seems like a very long tale that would require some more time than I think.
Do you play that lute, friend? Braun?
Oh, I play it so well. It's my career.
Can you tell us the story of how you met Ambrose in song form?
Yeah. He takes a step back and he'll
I give
tune
Atreus
his-
dagger eyes the moment he says that.
He starts to play something improvisational. It's definitely not the best. Says, when Lord Boussaint and Sheridan shared a child around the bin, we did become fast friends again, Ambrose and I.
Making me laugh.
I slow clap a little bit. Just like, yep, that's how it all started. Yep.
You said that's your career?
I am the most beloved bard in all of Everton.
Yeah, for how long?
Well, I haven't been here that long.
Oh, okay.
Well, maybe 3 months. I set on my own personal travels when all the nastiness with me and Evangeline happened. I set out on my own and made my way here.
Oh.
I can't be in the same country as my ex.
Well,
How is Evangeline? I often think of her. I hope
Like
she's
dust
well.
in the wind.
yeah, Brom, Evangeline's dead.
He kind of just stares at you for a minute. He's like, pardon? One more
Evangeline passed
time. I
away.
think I must have misheard something.
Just make
She
them cry.
is dead, you human kazoo!
He says, well, I never. This is some way to tell me. You insult me
Oh.
and give me terrible news.
Pickles
Oh.
kicks Barrick back under the table.
We are very sorry, Bron. But yes, I'm afraid. And it could have been delivered better. She kind of looks over at Ambrose like, come on, man. We are sorry for your loss.
Well, I had hoped we would find a way to mend our differences and move on with our lives together.
But you went to a
But-
whole other country.
Yeah, I know I'm not great at communication. I sent many letters, but she never responded.
Probably burned them.
Yeah, probably. I don't know what she didn't like about me. Her father is such a fine man, and I would have loved to have welcomed her into my family.
I just don't say anything after
Evangeline
him rambling.
Sheridan.
Oh, God.
Brom, I think it's time for you to move on.
Can see that you are taking this news rather hard. If you would like to talk to someone in confidence about it at great length, I would be willing to listen. I get the sense you would find the companionship of one person more tolerable right now than the dynamic of a boisterous group.
Well, I've had plenty of time to get over me and Evangeline. I am quite very sad about her demise. That is sudden and tragic news. But I understand that she chose her path. I chose mine. It led her to death. It led me to fame.
Oh,
3 months.
in 3, yes, how incredibly impressive. May I
Yeah.
ask how you found yourself so successful here? We are under the
Well,
impression
they don't
that...
have any bards here.
Oh,
Yeah, it's
Why
kind
not?
of a one-horse town, as I would call it, back in Mornstead.
mm,
Eric, maybe you should perform.
Oh, I don't want to hurt the poor kazoo man's feelings anymore?
Is this a
people are
challenge, Birdman?
No.
Oh, it is now. I am a kiln, and not some bird. I eat birds, and I'll eat you.
Listen,
But not in a fun,
like
cool
a
way.
roast pheasant you are.
Oh my god, I will make you eat that hat backwards.
This just turned into the best day ever.
Adalia was totally on this guy's side up until right now. Like, she found him, like, you know, interesting.
Hey, he started it.
Now he has insulted Ferric. So Adalia turns away from him and kisses Ferric on the cheek and casts Enhance ability. So you have Eagle Splendor. You have advantage on charisma checks.
Yeah, baby.
Kill him, darling.
Metaphor.
Bram, you got this. I'm betting on you.
Guys, if we're gonna do this, we're gonna need an audience. We're just not
Should
gonna.
I enhance Brom's ability?
Yes.
Ferric will pull out their lyre. Lyre.
There is stage in here. Can we make one?
Yeah, there's a little stage. It's not like the most robust, but it's like a little one-person stage with a little curtain behind it.
Perfect.
Yeah, you first. I'd take the stage. You think you're so good? I'd love to see it.
Ferric will step up and pull out their, like don their lute, and start to play. Ferric is going to start with a general ballad. Ferric is a little unsure about like the cultural pinpoints here, so Ferric is going to start something about the Rock of Bristol and the story that they saw play out at the arena, and is going to regale that. And it's probably, because we beelined it, it's going to be the first time the people in the bar have heard this story. And Ferric is going to sing the ballad of the Rock of Bristol.
Go ahead and give me a performance check, and since you used the Rock of Bristol, I'll say do it with advantage.
That's a crit, baby. That's a
Baby.
28 crit, baby.
Damn.
Yes.
Nice.
The crowd goes fucking wild when you start bringing up the Rock of Bristol. They go berserk. They start literally throwing glasses at the wall behind you. And beer splashes against your back and little shards of glass, but you can tell that it's like a good thing.
Ferric's going to pull their robes to the sides and give a gentle kilnly curtsy, and is going to gesture to Brom in a imposing yet kind of playful way, as in like, "You're up next, Brommy boy."
Absolutely. One second. Why is my character sheet here not working for me?
Character sheet? I love this so much.
Oh my god.
I've got to, as he walks past, Atreus will pat him on the back and enhance his ability,
There we go.
giving him advantage on charisma checks.
Really?
How dare you?
Well, he didn't crit, but he did get a 20, which is pretty good.
Yeah.
But it can't beat a 28 crit.
No, it cannot, baby.
It
But I will say that his is very sharp and pointed directly at you. It's like an insult rap. Based off of what he just met you. And he starts saying things about, like, your drapery and your jewelry and your big gaudy horns. And your feathers are dirty. You need a bath. You stink. Your shoes are terrible. And
Wow.
he
Don't
gets
be
some
quick.
laughs. He gets a lot of laughs more than anything else. One guy, as he gets off stage, you hear one guy say, "I don't think it's right what he said about that guy who sung that song about the Rock of Bristol." And then a couple other people start mumbling. You know, you can tell that you've easily won the little battle, but he did take the opportunity to insult you.
As a rebuttal, I am going to play a song of the Gossamer Rat and the Gossamer Hat, and starts to sing, and I am actually going to use my liar's ability to charm everybody to kick him out.
Oh my god.
Wow.
So that is wisdom saving throws. Beat a 16 or throw the man out.
15 people?
12.
I can do 12.
12
I think.
people.
That is so many people.
A couple of them pass. I mean, what's your save?
16.
A couple of them pass. 3 of them pass. But everyone else they start cheering for you. And they like literally, like, Flintstone style pick him up and, like, walk him out the door. And then, like, throw him out. And he's like, "You haven't seen the last of me! I'll be back! I'll have a better song next time!"
Good luck.
Ambrose, that man is horrible.
Is he friends with Calvin? I feel like he would be friends with Calvin.
DM, does Braum have any relation with Calvin at all?
I mean,
Business-wise?
loosely in the sense that he's a noble and his father has dealings with the Golden Council, but
Okay.
Braum himself, not really. They've met at, like, parties. You've seen them together at the same kind of social functions that you would go to with your father.
Don't know what to say. He just sucks. He's everything about him not good.
How on earth did Evangeline put up with him? Has he always been like that? Ugh.
Yeah, unfortunately, he's just been like that forever. Especially the hat. The hat keeps on getting worse. Because one time he wore a hat
Right,
that had
well.
like 3 feathers in it. I mean, it was atrocious. It was.
Ugh.
Be that as it may, will you all excuse me for just a short time?
Oh, yeah. That drink getting to you a little too early?
I mean, you don't have to ask permission to leave the table.
Eh?
Mm.
Atreides will follow Braum out of the tavern.
Wow. Yeah, he's sitting there, like, on the cobblestone, dusting himself off. He's, like, picking his hat up.
Listen,
You hear him
Braum,
kind of sobbing to himself a little bit.
listen, Braum.
What
What-
do you want?
What are you crying over?
I was just publicly humiliated.
I offer him a hand up,
That's all right.
and then when he reaches up to take it, I jerk it away. Listen, Braum, you can't keep living life like that, challenging people to contests of wit, and then when you're outwitted, bitching and moaning about it. That's no way to live a life. You've got to straighten up.
was
I understand,
thrown out on my ass.
as you deserved after the treatment that you gave our friend in there. But
I
this is
did
not the end of your
nothing
story.
wrong.
You did nothing illegal,
Mhm.
but you were very unfriendly toward someone else, and that's no way to.
He called me Kazoo Boy. He called me
Which-
the human kazoo.
was also, although funny, was also not very sportsmanlike. I'll
Well, my
grant you
father
that.
always said that if someone insults you, you insult them twice as bad.
You nobles are all the same. Listen, there is another way. You can look to build bridges between you and other people. You can look to communally share stories with one another. And throughout this time, as I'm talking with him, I'll do my best to console him over the death of his beloved fiancée, to try to repair his shattered reputation in his own mind. And I'm going to cast Ceremony on him and make him come of age.
Oh,
Okay.
For the next 24 hours, he has a plus 1d4 to ability checks. Unless he has already come of age through the ceremony spell, in which case he gains no benefit.
I mean, that's never happened to him before, so I, mean, I guess
Okay.
it's the first time. But he's a little long in the tooth for it, but...
grow up, Brom. You're the worst.
Yeah, it does say who is a young adult, so I don't know if it'll stick or not if he's like
He's
beyond
a young adult, but he's not
Okay.
like...
he's not a
No.
squire. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good way of putting it.
Yeah, sure. So I mean, throughout the therapy session, throughout the what do you call it? Inspirational speech, I'm also going to weave in themes of how he can pursue his own like ideal, but has to weave it back into the community around him. I am pulling from the work of philosophy that Atreides has been working on for his entire life, and just trying to plant a seed.
Give
and
me
then
a
once-
persuasion check.
Okay. Persuasion. Ooh, I need to become proficient in this. I am not. That's a 10.
Well, he dusts himself off and he extends his hand very daintily to like shake your hand, like.
Yeah.
And he says, "Well, I will say you have changed my mind about some things. I think I'll be going home and getting some rest. I had intended to wait until you left the bar and then challenge that bird person to some sort of a duel, but perhaps I'm being too hasty."
Well, thank you. I hope that you continue to proceed down the path of revelation and self-discovery. It seems
One thing really, I'm confused about one thing. You said to build bridges and to build a community. Why would I seek to build bridges and community with people that call me names and insult me to my face?
so that they don't continue to do that. Because right now you're an easy target. And I hope that coming of age lowers your voice a few octaves.
Well, I think puberty has passed.
You poor
This
Kazoo.
is lower.
Oh.
He just kind of finishes brushing himself off. He's like, "Well, I think I will take leave of this place then. Thank you, wise traveler,
Atreides.
Atreides." And he bows. "I will see you around."
As he
Good luck, Brom.
looks over, as Brom looks over Atreides' head and like can see through the window of the bar, Varric is just doing the stanky leg, like at the window, just doing the stanky leg.
He looks back at you, Atreides, and is like, "I vow that before you leave, you will regret this. Not you, but you tell him that."
I will work to build bridges and community on all sides.
No,
Brom.
you tell him I said those words. I'll write it down for you if I must.
I will convey your message, Brom. Right.
Okay.
I like that Ferric is doing that for literally an hour, because that's the length of the spell.
That seems about right.
Yeah.
Right. So, yeah. While that's all going on, any kind of conversation going on in the bar?
Before everyone gets too in their cups, Adalia is going to go make sure that we have rooms at this tavern for the night so that we don't end up in the gutter with Brom.
Ferric will try to help by offering their services as the new reigning bard of Everton in order to help cover some costs here.
Yeah. Miles kind of nods and says, well, we do need a new bard now that you had the patrons throw an old one out. Rooms here are a bit steep. You planning on sharing a room?
Oh yeah, all of us can fit into what? 6x6?
Steep
all
are
right,
we
well,
talking? How
Are
steep
we
are we
there?
talking? I'm up at the bar unless everybody came up to the bar.
No.
Yeah, I'm assuming not.
he kind of looks you guys up and down and says, rooms are 1 gold each.
Oh,
It's pretty pricey around here.
Do you take foreign currency?
Oh yeah, I'll take whatever you got.
marvelous. 4 rooms then, please. Thank you.
He does look at the currency if you hand him... Do you hand him Mornstead currency?
Yeah.
He looks at it and he's like, oh, from Mornstead, eh?
No, we traded and all they had was Mornstead currency.
Oh. Well, here's your room keys. And he hands you some room keys. You gonna be staying in town long? Because those are by the night.
It is a glass coffin, my friend.
What that's supposed to mean?
Remains to be seen.
Remains to be seen.
I like that. I'll keep that one in mind. I'm gonna use that.
That was a good one.
It was. I'm gonna bring more drinks back also, but specifically I'm gonna bring Pickles Ale, because I feel like Pickles isn't much of a wine drinker.
Pickles doesn't drink anything.
I know, but she's still worried about Pickles from the
You
other
gotta,
night.
you gotta hold the glass to look cool.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Now I'm double fisting it because I still got the wine.
yeah.
The patrons would like cheer and try and get you to keep playing for the rest of the night.
Yeah. I would. I'd play a couple songs that I know. I would play the song that I had played previously about the raising of Pharaoh, how they ascended through the town of Farrington. And I'm going to tell a story about my homeland. And yeah, I'm just gonna run through some ballads, some songs. It's a very... I'm gonna try to make it as international of an experience as I can, so they can't really pinpoint where the songs are coming from. I'm just a traveler.
Makes sense to me. Yeah, and everyone seems to be really enjoying it. Eventually, Atreides, you make your way back in. Ferric's up on stage.
While Ferric is doing this, Adalia's gonna kind of try to get a vibe. Like, what is Everton like? Like, she's happy to talk to somebody if there's somebody who would be willing to talk to her, but like, what's the vibe here? Like, do they have like it's like a fishing trade? Like, what are they?
It seems to be mostly like sort of like what do you call it? Like substance farmers. Like they have they definitely have a fishing community. They would have some farming outside the gates. You definitely get the vibe that they do a lot of importing from Ordomall, but it's all in like one large go. and they clearly haven't had any shipments in a long time because they
Okay.
seem to be running low on a lot of supplies. And they're not out, but you know they're pulling from their bottom shelf of wine. You don't see a whole lot of people eating. Everyone seems to be in really good spirits, though. Socially, it seems a lot like... It reminds you a lot of, like, the Copper Quarter Tavern from Mornstead. It kind of reminds you of that place. Except, as far as you're aware, this very well may be the only tavern in town. It's really packed like it is. And most of the people in here seem like they're kind of poor, but they don't seem to really mind. They're just kind of having a blast.
Okay. I would also start asking around if anyone knows the Stonewall family.
Oh, yeah. Some people would definitely recognize that name if you asked around. Eventually, someone would tell you that on the east side of town is a large manor called Stonewall Manor, and that's where they live.
Manor.
You said east side of town?
Yes.
Oh, a manor, you say? Are they wealthy then? The Stonewalls.
Oh, yeah, the Stonewalls are some of the richest people around.
What do they do?
Be rich.
Oh, I wouldn't know. I'm not that sort of person. I'll talk to my friend Ambrose about it. I'm sure he can explain it to me
Stop telling
better.
people I'm rich.
As I
Darling.
understand it, the old man used to do something with crystals. That's quite a lucrative business, if you ask me. And when the old lady and the old man got a divorce, she ended up with a lot of money.
Oh, of course. I hear that happens. I've also never been divorced. I'm just, different
Have you
world.
been married?
No.
No.
All right. Well, thank you. And I'll buy that person a drink who just gave me all that information.
Sure. Absolutely. Yeah, everyone seems to be in really good spirits, and everyone seems to just accept you guys. Like, no one seems to be all like, where are you from? You get a couple of weird questions, but mostly they're just, as soon as you say we're travelers, they're just, oh, cool. Right on. And they just go back to doing their thing.
Okay.
The bartender does ask when you come back for a drink at some point. He would say, are you traveling to Autumnall? Or are you traveling away?
Away at the moment. Why?
Damn. Well, I was gonna pay you to see if you could see where our shipment was.
Oh, is it late then?
He nods. He says, yeah, it's about a month late. We're running low a little bit. Not too bad, not too bad. Nothing to worry about yet.
Oh, certainly. Well, perhaps we could look into it for you. Do you not have a way to contact them?
He says, well, sort of. I'd have to contact the mayor. It's just a whole thing.
I see.
Does
So
it send you any
is-
letters?
Right, is there no post between the cities or other travelers?
Well, that's what I was hoping to hire you guys for. We don't get a lot of travelers out here.
And
We-
this shipment, is it something that the government sends you, or is it a merchant?
This Says, oh no, I buy it. I'm looking for a wine shipment
Mm.
in particular.
Of course. Adalia, like, switches to ale. Like, stops drinking these people's wine.
It's for sale.
Oh, all right. Well, we'll get back
I just
to
have
you.
this terrible feeling that it's some sort of highwaymen stole our shipment of wine.
Does that happen often?
No, but it's never late either.
I see.
And that's
Did you
what
hire
makes me
anyone
think
from
that
Everton?
something fishy's going on.
All right. Well, let us get back to you on that. And Adalia's gonna go back to the table with, her hands full of glasses of, or like pint glasses of ale, and she's gonna pass them out. She's going to say, "Do you know? I think Scamandius might have stolen these people's wine."
Why do you say that?
Well, apparently they get shipments rather regularly, and he suspects that it may have been waylaid between here and Altamore. And we happened to run across a very suspicious individual on the road. He says it's never happened before. Thoughts, Atreides?
Perhaps. I agree that Scamandius was shady. I didn't think that he would resort to outright robbery. It seemed that charlatanism was more his method of operation. But if you're right about this, then I want to have stern words with him for taking advantage of my gifts.
I think I can figure it out pretty quickly. I'm gonna stand up out of the chair, walk over to the innkeeper. Did you hire anyone from Everton for the shipment?
Says, no, usually I expect a monthly shipment. I haven't got me shipment this month. It's kind of a standing order.
There's no trading companies here?
Well, I mean, we've got the, not really. We've got the mayor.
Never mind. And I just turn around and I just sit back at the table. Plan is ruined. Never mind. I thought I had a really good. Thought we could find a letter from someone from Everton and around them, so at least we know what actually happened. But unfortunately, we gotta do some more digging.
Well, other thoughts? Am I leaping to conclusions about Scamandius, do you think?
I mean, he kind of seems like a wimp. We could just go, like, poke him a few times, and then I'm sure he'll talk.
Well,
Right, I mean, is there anyone else on the road that we saw who might be culpable?
Giorgio.
Correct.
the frog man? I don't think the
It's
frog
not
man.
Giorgio.
And the mushroom
not
salad.
bad.
He's getting the frogs drunk on wine.
Well, perhaps it's something we could look into tomorrow. I did find out where Christopher's family is. I think we should pay them a visit.
Right.
Are you gonna do your mirror thing on the Rock of Bastall so we can
Well,
see wherever he is?
I thought perhaps later when we aren't in the middle of a busy tavern that I might use the mirror to check on the Rock of Bristol and then perhaps Scamandius.
I mean, we left
That too.
Scamandius right outside of town. It shouldn't be too hard to track him down.
Well, I know we did, but we keep leaving him places and then he keeps turning up in other
Very
places.
true, very true, yes.
So,
I'm definitely here.
If he shows up in the room tonight, I'm gonna kill him.
yep, that's fair.
That's
Fair.
reasonable.
Okay.
Very well.
Who's sleeping in what room?
I got everyone their own rooms. And she kind of like takes Ferric's hand and like, accept us, we're sharing. I thought we all deserved a little, privacy this evening
Oh yeah.
after so many shared quarters for so long.
Okay.
All right.
But I do want to scry on Scamandius before bed, once we're not down in the tavern anymore.
All right. So you guys drink for the rest of the night. You pack it in. You head to your rooms. You all say your separate goodnights and then head to your individual rooms. And then Varric and Adalia, you guys are looking through the mirror at Scamandius.
That is the hope. He
All
gets,
right.
he does get to save. Hang
Let's see.
on. Sorry, this is, because it's an item, I don't have the spell pulled up, or it's not like in my D&D Beyond. First-hand knowledge. So he gets no modifier on that. Yep. So it's just a wisdom saving throw. DC is 17. And it's just
Let's
a
see what he
straight roll.
gets. Oh, he crit!
Ooh.
Damn it!
He
That's
crit.
insane.
Damn.
Ugh.
That's it. He's guilty.
His mind is a steel trap. You see nothing but shadows.
Adalia messages everyone and tells them that. I do not trust him. He's trying to break my mirror. I don't know where he is. Good
Can you do
night.
it again?
No, once they save, I can't do it for 24 hours.
Oh damn. Okay.
All right. So is that the rest of the night then?
I think so.
Okay.
I'm actually going to try to do something. I'm assuming that, like, when we get back to our rooms, I'm actually going to pull out what was once the compass that I was given from Bilvanis, with a contraption hooked up to it as well. I'm going to cast Locate Object and try to find. Like, I'm assuming that this is the hottest spot in Everton. Like, there's so many. Like, I don't think there's any other tavern, so there's a ton of people coming in and out here. I'm gonna cast Locate Object on any spell casting focus that resembles Evangeline's and oh my god, I forgot your name. I'm so sorry. Miraz's prince, anything correlated or similar to the spell casting focus that the prince gave them.
All right.
I
Can
mean,
you
is it
link-
an active one? Because Pickles took Miraz's.
Can you link the spell one more time?
Oh, sure. Yeah, definitely.
Does the spell casting focus lose its spell casting?
Lose its
when
oomph. I think it's still a focus. It's just not
Overdrive.
being used currently.
Wizards can use each other's spell books if they take time to like decipher them. so
Right, that is
would
true.
Make sense. Yeah.
Oh, here it is.
Can't believe Scamandius crit on that scratch. Gonna be bitter about that for a while.
At least it wasn't a
also,
legendary.
while I'm doing that
resistance.
too, I'm gonna cast Locate Object on Scamandia's sword that I identified too. Maybe he's in here too.
Right behind you.
Weird self. Yeah, he's like
He's
right
in the
underneath
room.
me.
He's under the bed. At the walls.
It's only
He's
1,000 feet.
everywhere.
Yeah, you don't detect either. You don't detect any prince-oriented spell focuses, and you don't detect Scamandius' sword.
Within 1,000 feet of you. That's That'd be within the city walls, right? That probably wouldn't detect outside of the city.
333 yards. So, I mean, I would say that gives you a pretty good radius around the city.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, you don't detect him.
Okay. I will mark that where my location was during that, and then I will just put everything back in my bag.
All right. So as everyone sleeps, everyone
So
sleeps
ominous.
pretty much. Gets, pretty well. Everyone sleeps and gets a pretty good rest. Everyone except for Ambrose.
Oh
Ambrose,
God.
as you drift off into sleep, you feel like you close your eyes, everything goes dark, and then you just smell this delicious smell of strawberries. And you open your eyes, and there's just a pink mist floating around you. And you start stepping forward, pushing past veils, and eventually you see a lounge sofa and a man laying back on it. Welcome to my chamber, Ambrose. You have no idea how hard it was to get you in here. Have a seat. Would you like a cigar? Don't give me that face. You know who I am.
I'm going to primeval awareness just to get a feeling of what entity this is, which tells me what type of creature type is within this realm.
Celestial.
Celestial.
You guys use a
Do you have to do that to figure it out, Ambrose? Do I have to spell it out for you? I know we never met in person, but you're familiar with my work.
The prince.
Hey, there you go. I knew it. Now come have a seat and let's talk some business. You have something I want. I have some things you want.
I walk over and sit at the table.
He kind of opens up his little humidor box and pulls out some cigars. Hands one out to you. Do you smoke, Ambrose?
No.
Well, you do now. And he hands it to you, and he's getting ready to light it up, and he's like, here you go. He's trying to...
He puts it in my face. I just don't move at all.
Oh, what's this? You're not happy? Well, I thought we could have some fun before we discuss business, but I see you're all business all the time. Evangeline spoke very highly of you, and I look forward to working with you. Now, let's just get to brass tacks. You have a very important soul to me. Your friend Miraz. I know you got it. I know you do. Because it ain't here.
Where's it
I don't
supposed
know
to be?
how you did it, and I don't really care. All I know is that it's got to end.
I look around this ugly, veiled, red, pinkish room. I can see why Vespa kicked you out. You're disgusting. And I spin his face.
Well, that certainly wasn't very nice. You're lucky that you got something I need, or else I wouldn't even be having this conversation with you anymore, Ambrose. Now let's talk about Evangeline. I know you'd like her back,
Okay.
right? A soul for a soul, a transaction. Give me morals.
I'm immortal. I don't make that decision.
Well, I'm a god, and I'm making it for you. It's quite simple.
You
Do
ain't
it.
shit. You're not a god. You were kicked out, remember?
Well, once a god, always a god, I say.
Not the Vespa.
Well, we're talking right now, ain't we?
You're not getting it.
All right, you're playing hardball. I knew you'd probably would, so I'm ready to sweeten the pot. How about your precious family, Ambrose? Would you like to know where your mother and sister are?
Sure, do tell.
Give me the soul, and I'll make it happen.
So you have my family soul?
I never said that.
But you know where it is.
I know many things. I know a lot. And I know where your families are.
You and the Dark Matron in cahoots?
He shakes his head and he says, No, trust me. I prefer to work with the beautiful people like yourself.
You're not getting it.
I think
There's no
you're the
trade.
one that's not getting it. I get what I want, and I will get it eventually. Now, you can have Evangeline's soul, you can have the information, or I can just get Miraz's soul a different way and you can have nothing. I was trying to be nice and offer you a deal.
While the prince is talking to me, I have I still have like my clothing on, right? I still have like this is a dream visage, right?
Yeah, I mean, you're not naked.
Okay. I have a surplus of artillery. I'm going to just put my while my other cloak is surrounding my arm, I'm going to slightly nick my finger with a dagger to see if any pain occurs.
No. And it doesn't bleed either.
You're not
Now
getting
listen, Miraz taunted me, he insulted me, he pushed me to my brink. I really wanted to work with him, but he didn't want to work with me. But his soul is promised. Evangeline, she's already paid her debt. I'm happy to let her go.
What is happening to Evangeline? Tell me first, and I'll make my deal. Show me.
Well, right now, and he snaps his fingers, and Evangeline kind of pirouettes onto the scene in front of you. She looks like she can't see you're there. She just is kind of staring off into the distance.
I would like
But
to
now she's
insight.
fine.
I would like to
I
insight
loved
that same
Evangeline.
dance move.
I missed Evangeline.
I would like to insight that same dance move to see if I've ever seen Evangeline do any form of dance like that.
Yeah, go for it.
Ooh, +6. 14?
You're a little suspicious. I mean, it's pretty good, but you think that it was a little robotic.
Mm-hmm. It's not it.
Says,
More lies,
well,
Prince. I draw Pokey and I raise it to his throat.
He kind of puts his hand on it and he says, "We don't have to do that, Miraz." Or, I mean, we don't have to do that, Ambrose. Just do as I say. Do you want me to hurt Evangeline? Is that what you're doing? Is you trying to push me to do something I want to do?
You're already hurting her.
I can hurt her. And he starts to, go to snap his fingers, and he's like, "Would you like me to? Is that what this takes? Do I have to threaten to hurt my followers?" Would it make
I
you
look
sleep
at the
better at
ring.
night, knowing that you'd push me this?
I look at the ring on my Oh no, did I give Pickles the ring back? Did I? No, I didn't.
I
Just
believe
making sure
you
I-
still got it.
I play with the ring on my finger. then grasp my like amulet of Vespa. No. We're done here.
All right, we're done here, Ambrose. I'm quite disappointed. He snaps his fingers, and the instant he does, you see like a truly haunting look on Evangeline's face as she fades away. And he's like, I just sent her to the bad place. I hope you're happy. Now you can go back to your little bad place, Ambrose. And he snaps his fingers again. And it's like you just close your eyes. You open your eyes, it's morning now. You feel like you slept, like you got a full night's rest mechanically, but you definitely feel like it wasn't a very restful sleep.
I throw my robe on, my very nice one, the white one, and put on my slippers too. At the same time, I take off my white silk bonnet and I run to Ferric's door and I start banging on it.
What do you want?
Open up the door now.
No, hold on. And Ferric is like, leaps out of bed and like covers Adalia and like puts on one of Ambrose's robes that they stole from the mansion and just like ties it around their waist, really not covering much, and is going to peel open the door only so much as they can stick their head around the corner. What do you want?
My room now.
Listen,
Darling,
I
what's
am with
happening?
Adalia now. We can't. You
The
can't.
prince came to my dream.
Oh my god, what?
The prince came to my dream.
Okay, 1 second. Adalia,
Yes, darling.
something freaky is happening with Ambrose. I am just going to check it out. I will be right back, and then I will tell you about the thing that I want to tell you about.
Oh, all right. Do you need me? For the I'll just stay here. You let me know.
Okay.
Okay.
And Ferric, like, patters out of the door, shuts it, in a nice Boussant robe. I imagine the family crest is covering
Why
their
are you
family
wearing
crest.
my dad's robe?
Listen, we can talk about that later. We've got more pressing matters. Tell me about the prince. Come on, let's go. Let's go.
He came to my dream. He wanted Miraz's ring, his soul, and then he told me to trade it for Evangeline. Of course, I said no, and I 100% pissed him off because I threatened him. I'm not going to tell the why, but he is torturing Evangeline. So it's not good.
Did we not already assume that the prince was torturing Evangeline?
That's what I assumed, but this is definite. This felt real. This felt real.
definite.
This felt the realest I've ever felt. This is
What did he say? Did he say anywhere to meet or where to find him or?
oh no, he was just like, I'm gonna get that ring back, and you're gonna fail, and essentially, the whole you made the wrong decision, but really wasn't much of a decision. It was to trade someone else's soul for someone else, which I felt like I shouldn't even made that decision.
And what did Moraz have to say?
I didn't ask.
I'm
Moraz.
sorry,
I don't
Eugene.
think Moraz. I didn't ask Eugene because I don't think that was correlated between us. I didn't get a ping from him when I was wearing it, so I just assumed that he was. Moraz.
Give me the
And I
ring.
just don't tell Moraz the whole entire thing. Hey, Prince saw my dreams. Bad stuff.
Wait, what?
You don't have to lift your hand up to.
It feels better if I do
It's
that.
not
If
an
you're
ear.
It feels better. Moraz?
The prince was in your dream?
Yeah, he wanted me to trade her soul for Evangeline. I said no, so good. Good for you, but not good for Evangeline.
Well, but I thought we were. This is terrible, I know, but I thought we assumed that Evangeline's soul was completely disintegrated at this point.
No, it's definitely not. Just,
Oh, well, that's good.
no, it's worse because she's burning in hell.
Well, that's bad, but that's still better than not existing, right? I think.
I turn off the ring. Varric.
What did
Um,
Moraz say?
At least Evangeline is still burning. That's what Mara said.
Oh my god, Moraz! What else?
That's it. It was just it was that, and
Oh my god.
he threatened and yelled at me, and he was just like, "Oh, we're going to do it the hard way."
I feel like you are
I traded
leaving
that.
so much of your dialogue.
I spit in his face. I told him that.
Oh my god! You spit in his face. This is not Kazoo Man on the street. This is the prince.
He's gonna do the same thing no matter what. He's gonna be pissed off no matter what.
Okay, so
I also told him that Vespa. I can see why Vespa kicked him out of heaven because he's a shady, slimy, disgusting person.
we are.
And then I grabbed Boki. I'm so sorry, Varric.
You grab Pokey.
In the dream. I don't think it counted. I look at Pokey right behind me. Is he moving?
No, he seems like he didn't. Like he's unaware.
Okay, we're right.
You can't just throw Pokey all willy nilly.
I just got. Look, if you told me the prince would have visited in my dreams, I would have never had Pokey on me, alright? But Pokey was on me in my dreams. That could be a sign from Vespa. Maybe she was telling, use it. I don't know.
This is not an omen.
You're right, I'm putting it back in the bag of holding. Anyways, not good. Probably going to tell everyone, but
Yes, tell everyone. Of course. Tell
after
everyone.
breakfast. But yeah, it's just not, pretty bad. You would say bad, right, Maraz?
Yes, that's bad.
I made the right decision, right, Maraz?
I mean, no, I think so. I think so. We'll figure it out. I'd rather figure it out alive-ish than less so.
Okay,
So-
thanks.
I suppose if you still keep resisting the prince, he can't technically torture someone more than they're already being tortured, right?
I'm pretty
tortured
sure
is
he can
still
go.
tortured.
No, it could be worse. You could definitely torture someone way worse. I mean, I've read a lot of the Busan history, and we've really put the work on enemies. But
Oh my god, like what?
oh man, I mean, there's been times we've tied people up and pulled them horses and stuff. It's crazy. But it doesn't really matter.
I was on board until you said horses.
Yeah, I mean, other stuff too, but I don't want to really talk about that.
Anyway. Listen. Are we any closer to knowing where to find the prince other than in our dreams?
No, but perhaps I ruffled some feathers.
I resemble that remark.
Sorry, probably I ruffled some. I
Oh,
look
feathers
around.
fine. Feathers are
bed
fine.
sheets. I don't. Maybe. He might send something. We can get more intel. Really, we have nothing to work with from the start, so this is worst case, best case scenario.
Well, while we are out here, there might be some forbidden knowledge.
Also, the Dark Matron and the Prince probably aren't working together. Maybe.
They're not?
Could be lying, but I don't know.
They seem like they would be best friends.
I don't know. Well, he said that he likes working with the pretty kinds, which I totally get it because Matron is pretty.
I think we need to go to the library again.
Yeah, definitely.
New library, new town, more alcohol.
I'll let the group know.
Thank you for telling me, Ambrose. I appreciate it. And I appreciate our friendship.
I fist bump Varric.
Fist bump back.
Okay, about the rope.
Here, take
At
it.
least
Take
put it on.
Ferric takes it off and like just hands it to him.
You can have it. It's already here. Just put it on right.
My body is too light. Here, let me just show you. And Ferric like pulls it onto their shoulders, and it hangs just above whatever situation they got going on down there.
All right, I can see the issue here.
It's just a shirt. And it's like it doesn't button right over their rib cage.
Mhm.
So I guess this is how I wear it, right?
It's worth like 20 gold, so I just wear it as a loincloth if you want. It's fine.
Okay, that's what I was doing. Ferric takes it off again, throws it
Just
back on.
Don't show the Busan emblem, all right? We don't want people knowing.
Oh, you
that-
want it facing in against my
Yes,
bare
yes, yes,
body?
yes. Yes. It might
Okay.
scratch a little, but you'll be fine.
Okay, I'll do that. And Ferric takes it off again and puts it back on inside out.
Wow.
How do I look? Good.
You look great.
Beautiful. And Ferric turns around and walks back into the bedroom.
Everything all right, darling?
No, everything's worse. Not for the immediate, but kind of for, souls. Souls
Right.
and people and their souls and...
Yes. Is it anything we can fix before breakfast?
No.
Then you should probably come back to bed.
Ferric's going to cast aside the Busan robe again!
Fling her over side.
All right. And then I think this is where we're going to end for now. We're going to go ahead and take a break. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. For everyone listening in post, we're live on YouTube every other Sunday, 7 p.m. EST. Come jump in and hang out with us. We'll see you next week for everyone in post. For everyone live, we'll see you in 5. Be right back.
Oh. Somebody has slid something underneath the door.
Again. We really need to talk about all the people who send you things, darling. It's getting out of hand.
Okay, let's go ahead and see what it is. Oh, this one's hard to open. What the heck? Ugh. Okay. All right. It's from Papa Bear the Goblin King.
I didn't know you knew any royalty.
Do goblins have kings?
Oh my God! Where'd you come from?
Oh, I've just been here.
Oh,
All night.
I don't know. Just this
Oh.
morning.
jeez.
Oh, perfect.
Okay.
Well, Pickles probably wouldn't know if goblins have kings, but they must, right?
I mean, I get letters from one, so I assume that they are a king.
Oh, good.
Okay. It says, Bada bing, ka-ching, here's a piece of gold, don't fling it into the ring. What does that supposed to mean?
Because it is bling from the Goblin
Whoa.
King.
Oh,
You guys can't just keep sneaking in here.
you
Can't
know,
say
He
bling.
didn't really sneak. He's like humongous. He just followed
Yes,
me in. You
very
guys just
tall.
really need to pay attention.
it's still early. Well, thank you, Papa Bear the Goblin King, for your incomprehensible rhyme.
I
We
think it
appreciate it.
means don't gamble on a fight.
Why?
Profound. Don't toss the bling in the ring.
Yeah,
Right.
bling in the ring. Papa Bear the Goblin King.
We will treasure this wisdom and this gold piece. I'll add it to my inventory.
Hey! That was sent to me! Hey, give it back! Oh, you're taller than me.
Mm.
Welcome back to Power Word Fail, everyone. Dungeons & Dragons 5th Edition Actual Live Show. I'm the Dungeon Master Cody, and this is part 2 of episode 55. Last time, the team made their way into Everton. The guards seemed fairly short with them as they walked in, and they directed them to the nearby tavern. Inside the Steer's Head Tavern, they started drinking, making merry, having a blast. It wasn't too long before Ambrose had one of those moments where you recognize someone only seconds before they recognize you, and decided to roll with it. He bought him a drink, invited him over, and introduced the crew to Brom, Evangeline's ex-fiance. And the crew didn't seem to take well to him. They started making fun of him almost immediately, and he challenged Furyk to a bard-off. And although he performed valiantly with a 21, which is pretty good, Furyk crit and got a 28. So he did lose the bard battle and was very humiliated. And then Furyk took it another step further and convinced all the patrons to literally throw him out of the bar. Thankfully, Atreides was there to pick him up. And he did seem to talk him down. He was talking a pretty big game in the street about how he was going to challenge Furyk to a duel, but Atreides did talk him down. From there, they enjoyed the rest of their night at the bar until bedtime. And then, once they went to sleep, Ambrose was visited by the prince, who offered him a deal that I guess he could refuse. I was pretty shocked. I really thought it was a good deal, but yeah, well, and in the morning, he informed the team of his terrible nightmare, I suppose we'll call it. And from there, I believe the team was getting ready to go enjoy some breakfast. So I'll let you take it from there. You're all in your rooms. Some of you are more aware of the situation than others.
Furyk is going to flop down onto the bed and brush a few strands of hair out of Adalia's face. I have to tell you about what happened the other night.
The other night? Which one? So many things happened.
The night that Pickles and I saw
went
the
on
visions.
your quest. What happened?
Well, when I went under, I got some instructions.
Instructions from whom?
Cody, you want to take me through?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god!
So, Furyk, that night, you had given Pickles her medicine, I suppose we'll call it, to take her to her vision quest. And then you decided to go on one yourself. Everything started off fairly normally. It's not your first rodeo with this. You were walking through the woods. Everything seemed peaceful. Before long, everything started to get very dark. You only saw one light in the distance, It was a rainbow. As you approached, you saw the scales of the rainbow serpent that you had seen in your dream previously. And hanging from the tree was a skeletal serpent. Its eyes begin to glow, and then it lunged at you.
I'm
As
gonna
it-
try to catch it.
Yeah, as it comes forward, you try to catch its jaws, and it says to you, I am the corruptor. And suddenly a noxious gas pours out of its mouth and begins to overtake you.
No. What is this? You.
As it completely starts to take over your sight, it starts to completely surround you, envelop you, when suddenly you feel a force pushing back. You look behind you and you see the now ghostly vision of the rainbow serpent. It is wrapping itself around you as if to shield you from this corruption. And as it completely swallows you whole, it whispers into your ear, the source of the corruption is near. You can stop it. This vision does not have to pass. Everton. Seek the Serpent Master.
I understand.
It says, good, then you know what must be done. Destroy it. Kill whoever is responsible for this. This corruption must not spread any further. The very nature of death is at risk now.
I start to feel myself pulsate between living body and corpse, almost as if breathing, and I close my eyes and
As you close your eyes, the vision begins to fade. You find yourself, in the forest as you were walking through it. But as the vision begins to fade, you see another figure walking towards you through the forest. It looks just like you. And then the vision fades.
So, that is my place here. There is something I must do, and it is most unsavory, but
I don't understand. Do you know what it's talking about?
it is something that Ambrose and I have fought about in the past. It is something that I have needed to confront ever since Pickles was taken from us the first time. There is a deep corruption here. There is something happening to the decay crystal. It is unwell, and I think the serpents, the cultists, I think they have something to do with it. The Dark Matron, all of it. I think it's all sick. And I have the chance to help. And I know that you all do not share this faith that I bear. And so, it may not be right for me to ask you to follow me, but I want you to believe in me and believe that I have to do this.
Dahlia has sat up in bed now, and she'll take one of Ferrick's hands in both of hers. I do believe in you, and I will follow you anywhere. But the snakes, whatever they are, whatever power they're playing with, they took Spunk in a moment. I mean, I know it was Ravena, or Tarsian, I suppose, but we lost Eugene and Navarra. These are not... I don't know if we're strong enough right now. I'll follow you to whatever you need to do, but you have to promise me you'll be careful. We can't throw ourselves into danger we're not ready for. We're barely surviving as it is.
Being a gift is a very precious thing. And I just wanted to seize the privilege of this time with you. Thank you.
When time comes for you to be a gift to Zola, I will sing you to her arms myself, but not until then. We deserve longer than this. Be careful.
Ferrick's going to take Adalia's face and pull it in and rest their beak on Adalia's forehead. I should tell the others. I am sure Ambrose is already going and updating them about his dream.
I think for hours now, like crack of dawn, Pickles went and woke up Pops. And just like dragged him along downstairs to sit at a table and has just been going through her art book, giving the full-on history after the whole Evangeline thing. Of like, if this was Evangeline, and then she had this fucking cat who was stupid. We're not gonna talk about him. He was actually an infant. Like, she's just going through, and she's just like going through the whole story through art, and she's just going through to the end. So he gets basically the entire history.
And he is raptly attentive to all of it with a 23 on a con save to stay awake. And there for it.
It just goes through, and she gets to end like, so that's kind of what I know from my drawings because I don't really remember it, and then I died, and like it's just a picture of like a goblin with X's in it. It's like, this is where I died, and then we go through, and she just keeps going. And you can see, because this was brought up last week, after she died, there is a definite shift in her art style. So it starts becoming a lot more detailed, a lot more perfectionist, a lot less cartoony. And she goes through and she's like, and now I've been talking, she's just like, now I draw everybody. Like, here's Ambrose's page, and here's your page, and here's Ravida and Tarsi, and they kind of look the same.
They do.
Yeah, I don't. But they're so different. Yeah. And she
Why
just
do you
like pauses
think-
a while.
Why do you think your art style changed so much? Surely
I
that
mean-
was intentional.
Well, no, but like after the memories the other day, you know, like I've been thinking about it, right? And like we were talking about like there's Pickles and then there's Eric, right? And we were talking about okay, well, like play smash or pass if you're gonna smash it, you're Pickles. If you're gonna pass, if you feel like you're Eric. But I don't think there is Pickles in Eric. Because even then, like the memories, I was Pickles, and like my dad was there, and it wasn't Eric's dad; it was my dad. So this art is a lot closer to his art in that dream. But is it my art? Because now this is me, right? She just like stares at Pops. I mean, I've got more memories now as Eric than as Pickles. And so I don't know if that makes me more Eric than Pickles. I feel like Pickles. But I have a memory of a lifetime of Eric. I don't know. So that's why I think my art changed. I think I just not all Pickles.
Have you heard of the ship of Thesean?
The what?
The ship of Thesean. Thesean was an ancient hero from the kingdom of Ortimal. He sailed on a
When
ship.
would I have heard of that? In the last month since I've been alive again.
Perhaps you did as Eric. I don't know.
Oh.
Well,
Maybe I did as Eric.
regardless.
I don't know. He hasn't told me yet if I have.
Well, Thesean sailed on this ship, and each time it got damaged, he repaired it with fresh wood, fresh sails, fresh rope. Eventually, every piece of the boat, of the original boat, was gone. But it was still his boat. So is the new boat his boat? Is the old boat his boat? Are they both his boat?
I mean, you just said it was still his boat, so.
So what does this
You
mean?
gave me the answer to the question. I
for
feel
you?
very. I don't own a boat. Do I own a boat? Do you know something I don't?
I don't think you own a boat, Pickles.
Okay. Then what's the
You say-
connection?
Well, you say you feel like Pickles. You have memories of another boat, of an older boat. But you are a new boat, and you get to choose on what waters you sail.
I'm a boat.
It's a metaphor, Pickles.
What's that?
It's a story to make a point. I think that you can choose. What I'm trying to say here, Pickles, is I think that regardless of what formed you, in the far past, in the near past, you are shaped by these, but you get to choose the future. You get to choose the road that you walk. The decisions that you make, they are yours. Not Pickles before you died. Not Eric's. This Pickles.
Okay, that makes sense. What does that have to do with the boat? Why didn't you just say that in the first
Forget
place?
the boat.
Why
Forget
did we
the boat.
talk about a boat and rebuilding a boat?
Forget the boat.
I can't forget the boat. That was like the main point of the story you told. I feel like it was really important and I'm just missing it. But okay. I think I get it. Maybe.
You
Be my
You-
own boat.
be your own boat. You're like a boat. You're not a boat. You're like a boat. That's a simile, not a metaphor, but the point stands.
I mean, I did walk on water the other day, so I'm
What?
essentially a boat.
There you have it.
This is a good talk. I'm glad we had this talk. It was very insightful. I feel
Well-
like I learned a lot about boats.
I'm glad that that's Or takeaway. Let's go back and look at the picture of you and all of your friends talking with the queen. I rather liked that one.
Do you want the picture before or after she turned into dust?
I like the
flip book?
sketches where the flip book.
Yeah,
Yes.
with the corners, you could just watch her slowly just be like,
Yes.
and then
it's
there's Neos.
quite artistic. Excellent rendition. I feel like I was there myself.
Good, that was the point. Glad it came across. this is just it. Just story after story of probably Pops telling Pickles more metaphor stuff and her just not getting it as she goes through her own shit. Until we're interrupted.
Mhm.
So yeah, as the morning goes by, eventually the rest of the team would make their way to breakfast. I don't know who wants to come first. Ambrose?
Yeah, I'll probably be the first one suited up, ready to roll. I'll be. I feel like I know everyone's order, like fair to say. So I'll probably order for everyone while like I know they're going soon, and then at Traley's I would buy bread and stuff because I know he likes his cuisine with that. So maybe some scrambled eggs with white bread, and we'll just wait for that.
Very nice.
And I will pay for that, the whole thing.
Yeah, it takes a little bit, but they bring you your various breakfast orders.
I sit at the top of the table too.
Eventually, you start to see other patrons start to file in as it gets to be around like 8 or 9 a.m.
Eventually, I think when Ferric and Adalia come out, Adalia, woke up this morning feeling really good and has had 2 pieces of very upsetting news. So she is kind of subdued this morning. Good morning, everyone. Sleep well?
Oh,
Right, yes.
No.
Right.
No.
Ambrose has something to tell us all.
Please have a seat.
is it an apology?
4?
That's what I thought.
No, really. Did I miss something? I look.
Oh. Go ahead, Ambrose.
Anyways, I just leave and give the whole spiel about the prince and whatnot about trading Baraz's soul. I'll leave out a few details about Pokey and a few other things, and then just tell him.
So you came across a bear. I'm learning metaphors. You came across a bear in the woods. And instead of just being like, "Excuse me, bear, I'm not going to go near you because you look dangerous," you decided to spit on it, insult it, and poke it with a stick to make it mad.
Correct.
It was
Was that a
excellent
metaphor?
metaphor, Pickles. Yes, yes.
Good metaphor.
Well done.
That was good.
You're a fast learner.
So that's the gist. We're just poking the bears.
To me, seemed pretty determined anyways to get that soul.
We're just
Well.
fast tracking. Got it.
So that problem will certainly reemerge.
Oh yeah.
100%. Within the next week.
Did you tell us that within the next week? Did you tell us that he's a celestial?
Oh, and he's a celestial. Weirdly enough.
I mean, he was a god, right?
Right, the stories say that he fell from the heavens. He was cast out.
But does that make you not a celestial anymore?
Evidently it does not. Perhaps all it takes to be a celestial to believe yourself a celestial.
Oh, I forgot about this.
Okay.
Oh, we were so close.
Okay. ignoring that,
Can you do your thing and figure out if Pops is a celestial yet?
Oh.
You want me to check?
Yeah, that will answer that question.
No, I won't be able to unless we're like in the middle of a forest and there's literally no human around us within a mile. It's unless wait, actually I can. I'll just put them in like a temporal planar hole and then I'll
What? You
check.
can't just like
What?
cast if you could detect it.
Can't
you
you
just
just-
detect things?
Yeah.
Not if he's a celestial. I don't have anything that detects what. I don't have like
Primeval awareness? Isn't that what it's
that.
called?
No, it picks up everything in the mile range. So it's like it could be a celestial.
Well,
A
it might be
mile
good
away.
to know if there's a
Yeah,
celestial
it
with it.
If there's a celestial a mile away, we should probably want to know that. But,
Actually, that's not a
Okay.
bad
You
idea.
really
I'll
wanna
prime
know?
people awareness. I'll prime people awareness and see what's going on.
There are no celestials.
Fae, fiends, infernal creatures, anything near me.
You do detect some. What's the radius?
A mile. Doesn't tell you where though. It just tells you within a mile.
You would
You look
detect
like a fae.
fae and fiends.
Ooh.
Okay.
Hmm.
No celestials, but there definitely is fae and fiends within a mile.
Oh,
Not
I'm
yet,
your
Pops.
Fae.
yes.
Oh, that makes
Oh.
sense. Yeah.
Resident Fae, hello.
Hello, darling.
So
It
it's
doesn't tell me
Funko.
how many.
Okay. I have.
Well,
a
that leaves
theory.
the fiends.
The fiends are worrying. But before we move on to that, I have a theory. You say that the Dark Matron and the Prince are definitely not working together. That's the impression you got.
Impression, but I have no evidence.
All right. And the Prince is very eager to get Eugene's soul.
Correct.
What if, and no offense to Atreides, we have no evidence at the moment that anyone could truly rise to be a Celestial. Right? What if
Currently.
What if the Master is the Prince? Tarsian was the hand of the Master, and he was so dedicated to ending Eugene's life. We tried to flee. He wouldn't let him. And he was specifically trying to steal the crystal that the Dark Matron had, trying to take it away from her. If the Prince and the Dark Matron aren't working together, if the Prince wants Eugene's soul, Tarsian was working to get both of those things. Is that possible? Do
It's
you think?
possible. It would stand to reason. We don't have enough evidence to
Yeah.
say with certainty.
Just a thought I had about it.
Really?
Well, I have a theory that the crystals have something to do with the one that Tarsian took has some form of like negation of the crystal, correct? I mean, it's anti everything. Maybe they're using that anti crystal to negate.
It was
Oh,
just the
Pars.
decay crystal that he took.
It was part
Mhm.
of the decay.
The
Oh, was it?
negation crystal ended up in Pokey.
That's what Pokey's
Pokey.
made out of.
Pokey is
I may
made
have
out
to
of
do more
the.
research.
Pokey is made out of the negation crystal. The thing that Tarsian took was like a shard, kind of like what Zeos had.
Yeah.
Of the
Yeah, my
decay
theories are
crystal.
totally been flip flop now. I gotta rethink
Yeah.
about it.
Speaking of the matter on the Dark Matron, the serpent cult. I have something to tell you all. Because I trust you. Yes, even the Trailies for now.
Not sure what that means. Go ahead.
And I reiterate the dream. I say everything that I kind of said in private without quite so many intimacies. But I let everybody know that, like, this is something that I have been chosen for and I am dedicated to fixing. And I'm saying so very, very quietly. Like, I'm, paying attention to the rest of the room, waiting for, like, people to walk by before I start speaking again, so on and so forth.
Count me in. I got your back, Varric.
Thank you, friend.
I am with you if you will have me.
Varric nods and looks over to Pickles.
Pickles looks like she's holding back, saying something very mean right now. And she takes a second. And she just looks at you and goes, after last time, you ran. Why would I go through with this with you again? When every single last time, you've been the one to want to run. And now you want to bring us someplace that we know is dangerous, that has already killed a lot of our people, and saying, follow me in? Why? I was the only one that stayed last time, and we lost Miraz because of it. How do I know this time it's not going to happen again?
Varric starts crying, but in a way that they're trying to hold themselves in control. You don't. You absolutely don't. You don't know. I don't know. We could all end up running again. You or I or any of us could end up dying again. I do not know the future. I just know that this is something that needs to be stopped because it has taken too much from me and it has made me resent you. And I hate that part of myself. I hate every inch of me that looks at you and sees my failure because I failed you, Pickles. And I'm sorry that I haven't talked about this sooner. I'm sorry that this has to be over such a beautiful breakfast. I'm sorry that I'm dragging everybody down with this, but please, I want to do right by you. I want to get this corruption out because it took you from us once, and I do not want it to take us. I don't want it to take you. So we have to end it. And I will do it with or without you.
Well, I mean, you can't do it without me, so, like, you have to do it with me. But just know I'm going in very tentatively. I mean, Ambrose won't even trust me with my own sword, even though I promised him I won't attune to it. Ever since we left,
shoulders.
He doesn't trust me. You don't trust me. I feel like Adalia's the only one that trusts me.
Of course I trust you. She kind of glares at everybody else, like, get your shit in line.
Pops has been the nicest one, and he's only been here for like 3 days. It's fine. I'll keep going with you. But if you run this time, that's it.
No more running. We've done a lot of it. It might be time to start facing things. Including all of this that we don't talk about.
I just told it all to Pops. He's updated.
Oh, excellent.
Nice.
All right. So, Ferric is getting visions about some sort of... Obviously, this is all connected. Whatever corruption is happening with the decay crystal, Zeos had a piece of it. The Dark Matron has a piece. So, I don't know where to go from there. But we need to stop. I feel like we're reacting to things as they happen, and we're not being proactive about any of it. And it's all tied in together. What do we do?
The prince seems like an unsolvable problem right now. We are no closer nor farther from any answers, except for now we have open communication.
For now.
So we sit on that until it happens again. Ambrose, I know this is not your strong suit, no offense, but we need to be very methodical. We need you to get closer to the prince, not farther away. Next time it happens, get us some information, anything. Names, places, times, anything that will get us closer. As for the snake cult, they are close. They are in Everton. They are somewhere. That is actionable. That is something that we can do. We just need to start.
Well, all of this began with Pickles when Christopher did whatever it was he did. And Christopher's mother is here. Perhaps we should start there.
Any opposition?
Sounds
Seems
good.
as good a plan as any.
There's an evil hag in her closet too. I'm done.
You putting bets down? I'll put 5 gold down. Sounds good.
Okay.
I'll
You're
put
saying
one-
there's
Also, Pickles, you're right. I definitely don't have it in me to hold this sword. It's yours.
She gives you the most questionable look. Why? I mean, I appreciate you giving me it back, but
Do you not
what
want
did
it?
you do? No,
Nothing.
I want it. Did he say something to you? Are you just tired of him talking constantly?
Honestly, it's just
and
too
like-
heavy for my back. I just don't want it. I have too much gear on me. It's slowing me down. And I am
And-
like suited up with like so much things on me.
Adalia kicks Ambrose under the table. And he trusts you.
Oh yeah, and
Doesn't
I
he?
trust you. Well, I'm giving you it. Obviously, I trust you.
Feel like there's something else to this. I'll appreciate it. I'm gonna take it now, but I feel like there's something else. This is not. This is
If
not
you feel that way.
Ambrose.
Feel-
Are you Ambrose? Did you come back somebody else?
He doesn't really respond.
There is
Do you want the sword or not?
There is no alligator behind you.
She'll take Pokey. Just her eyes are on Ambrose and not leaving. She's just like, I don't know. All right.
Just okay. And I just give it to Pickles.
Pickles, as you look at Pokey, you see that its pupil is looking rather thin.
She'll just like slightly unsheath Pokey and she'll be like, You good? What did he do to you?
I am hungry.
Oh, carrots. Yeah, alright, we'll figure it out. I need to stab something with Pokey. I think he's gonna die.
Do you think it can wait until after we speak to Christopher's mother?
I think there's a pet shop around here. We can grab something, right?
No,
I'm
I mean,
kidding. All
We're
right.
gonna go kill a bunch of snake people, right? Like,
hopefully.
Pokey will get a chance.
okay.
We also need to gear up too. So if there's a store we can go to.
Why
Bill
do
Barnes
we
said
need to
something.
gear up? Look at you, Ambrose.
You
You
just
are the
complained
gear
about
shop.
talking. You
You
just
can
said
always be more prepared.
you just said Pokey was too heavy because you had too much, and now you want more.
Not for me. I'm just saying for all of us. You never know.
Got it. All right, let's go to Christopher before anything else happens.
That seems wise.
Or Christopher's mom.
Let's go talk to Christopher's mom.
So you head out of the tavern and walk through the streets of Everton. In the day, you see a slightly barren town. The cobblestone streets are in disrepair. There are, like, sconces for them to put torches and lanterns and such. They just don't. You see the people walking in the streets look very dour and depressed. They kind of just seem to be doing their jobs and going about their business. They're all, since it's morning, you see a lot of people heading from the west part of town towards the south as they make their way to the fields. A lot of them look pretty tired, but it is what it is. Eventually, you see a very large house. It would put Boussaint Manor up for its money, but it's not quite as bougie with like the decorations and the lawn care and the furniture, but it is a extremely large, and you can tell it was at one time probably nicer than the Boussaint Manor. It's just fallen into disrepair and it's just seen really much better days. There's no guards or anything. The gates are open. Ambrose, you'd notice that the shrubbery is extremely unkempt.
You know what makes a difference between a rich person and a Boussaint? Consistency. This is horrible. And I'm just I will look at the gate and see if the gate is open, but like has the lock been like, you know, forced open, or is it just not wide open or anything?
It's just open.
Okay.
Yeah, Ferrick's going to like just trot up to the front door and knock.
There are some very elegant knockers that are like lions holding the ring.
I'm gonna cast Detect Evil and Good before I pass through the gates, just because I know there's fiends about, and now I'm nervous.
Oh yeah,
Go ahead
that's a
and
good idea.
cast the... What is
That,
it?
for 10 minutes, I know if there's an aberration, it's celestial, elemental, fey, fiend, or undead within 30 feet of me, as well as where it is.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna
Alright.
cast Detect Magic too. Let's keep that going.
Oops, I cast it twice.
All right. Yeah, you don't sense any magic or any good or evil.
I'm leaving it up though, just in case.
You knock on the big double doors using the knocker, and after a moment, the door will crack open and you will see a middle-aged woman, like, peeking through. Oh, hello there. What can I do for you? Guests?
We're here to talk to Christopher's mother.
She kind of gets a concerned look on her face and starts to open the rest of the door. Well, that would be me. I'm Laura Stonehold. What can I do for you folks? She steps out into the porch area where you are, and she's wearing a long flowing gown, and she looks like she's from Mornstead.
Ferric will gesture to the porch furniture. Say, you may want to sit down, please.
Oh my, I knew this day would come. What has happened?
We're so sorry, Mrs. Stonehole. Christopher was traveling with us, and he was so brave. But we came up against a great evil, and Christopher didn't make it.
She kind of sighs and looks down at her hands, and she starts to cry. She says, well, did he die a hero?
Yes.
The best.
And she
of
starts
us.
to sob. She's like, well, that was truly the most important thing to him.
He died to save another.
She just sits there quietly for a moment and kind of takes it all in. She says, I can't help but feel like I somehow failed. This is all my fault. If I would have put a stop to that hero nonsense.
Well, I'm not certain it was something Christopher was able to stop. I think it was just who he was.
She shakes her head no, and she's like, no. It's that good-for-nothing ex-husband of mine. He's the one that put these thoughts in his head. He's the one that made him join the Crystal Order. He was never ready to be a hero.
Sorry. The Crystal Order.
That's why we got a divorce. He forced Christopher into this life. He forced Christopher to follow in his footsteps, to become a priest of the Crystal Order.
You may also want to know. Griffin is already passed as well.
She just shakes her head. How did that happen?
Have you heard of a village called Farrington?
She nods. Yeah, that's actually where I met Griffin.
There was a great calamity and we were in part responsible. I saved Christopher there. He was impaled by a long splinter of wood. It was going to be fatal if I had left him. And me and another really good friend rescued Christopher. I know you want to blame a lot of things, but it is my observation as someone who has sung at many, many graves that blaming ourselves, blaming others, it doesn't give us the thing that fills the hole.
She sighs. She says, I just always thought he'd come around eventually. He'd get the picture. He'd learn that he wasn't capable. He'd fail the tests. I feel like when I first found them doing the rituals, if I would have just put a stop to it, if I would have done something right away, then none of this would have happened.
If you did that, you have no comprehension of the other ways in which you would have lost your son.
Maybe you're right.
Does she look human?
Yeah, she looks human.
Okay. Mrs. Stonehall. At the end, Christopher displayed some unique traits. Is there anyone in your family who's like me?
She looks you up and down and says, oh, my. No, I can't say so. The closest to that would be, well, Griffin and Christopher. They, I don't fully understand it, and I rightfully tried to remain ignorant of it for as long as I could, but Griffin, he had done some sort of ritual to attune himself to the crystals. When he joined the priesthood, he was about as close as you could be to a crystalborn without being a crystalborn. And he did the same thing to my son. I don't know what made him do this. I found them one night, and the ritual was nearly complete. I just let it happen. I thought he'd always been such a good father to our other kids. I just assumed he knew what was best. But then he started talking about taking Christopher overseas and showing him the crystal court. And it all just was too much. And we started arguing. And I told him if he took Christopher out of here, that he just better not come back. And I didn't mean the same for Christopher, but I do think that he felt that I kicked him out as well. I tried to send him money to make it better, to help on his journeys.
He made it safely to Farrington. Did his father leave before and Christopher followed, or did they leave together?
She says, well, Griffin often had business with the Crystal Court. He would leave off on his own. The last time he did take Christopher with him to finish the rituals in Farthington. Something about in a year's time, a grand ceremony involving a dragon. Sounds like what you were talking about, the accident that killed him. Somehow that was supposed to induct Christopher into the priesthood. I don't know.
Pulling back out of character for a second. We didn't know any of this about Christopher, right? Like this priesthood stuff. This is all new information.
Yeah.
All new.
Okay.
And granted that we are taking her at her word.
Yeah, I was gonna do a
Right.
massive insight check here in a minute. I just wanted to see if she's gonna do anything shady first.
Mrs. Stonehold, I am sorry for the hardship and heartache that you have suffered. I never met Christopher personally, but I have met the person that he saved, and I am grateful that he acted as he did. He did.
She starts
die.
crying some more. She says, well, at least he was able to die a hero. She kind of laughs and she's like, he truly was obsessed with that concept. I don't see it.
The fancy of
His
many
brother is very successful here in town. He could have been like him.
Christopher was, though, very successful. You would have been proud of him, I think.
She nods and she says, well, I am very proud of him. I was always proud of him. I just wish he got to pick for himself and not be so guided by his father down this path.
Did his father come to follow this path? You said it wasn't something that he had always done.
When I met him, he was a very optimistic young man. He was very, what's the word I'm looking for? He was very ambitious. He told us we were going to be fabulously wealthy. He had a idea. He knew some sort of way to bring the crystals to the Crystal Court. He never told me, but we got married and he was right. We were quite well off for some time. It was maybe after our daughter was born. Maybe she was about 5 when he came back and said that he'd been offered a position in the Crystal Court and that he couldn't turn it down. And it was his life's goal, which he'd never talked to me about, but now all of a sudden it was his ambition to do this. And he really wanted us all to move to Farthington. But, we have quite a luxurious estate. We made quite a life for ourselves here. And the children didn't want to leave. so he would travel. He was gone for long stretches of time, but he always came back. I can't help but feel like I pushed him away. An ultimatum is probably never wise.
Well, we aren't always wise when it comes to the people we love. I'm sure you did your best.
She sighs and shrugs. I don't know about that. But she looks back up at Ferric and says, I suppose there's 1,000 other ways it could have went that were worse.
That is a solace.
Well, what can I do for y'all? You were my son's friends.
I was just going to ask if there was anything we could do for you. We mostly just wanted to let you know.
She nods.
Christopher.
She's like, well, I am quite saddened to learn, but I suppose it's good to know the truth.
Right.
Thank you for your time, Laura. And as my companion said, if there is anything you need, let us know.
She shakes her head and she's like, no, I mean, we're quite well off. Between my family fortune and the political situation my son has, we are quite well off.
What political situation does your son have?
Well, Alfie, he's the mayor's hand. Quite prestigious. We can do, God, just about anything we want. Not that I really don't have anything particular I really want to do besides lay around the house, read my books.
I am happy that you are so content here. But if there is anything you can think of, let us know.
I can trim some of your hedges if you want.
And she looks over and says, oh yeah, I suppose the lawn has gotten rather out of hand. Alfie's been quite busy. You know, normally he does the lawn care.
I can do that.
Can I insight check her?
Yeah, absolutely.
I would like to pat Adalia on the shoulder for guidance as she does, if that's alright.
Yeah.
That is a 19 plus... I don't know how the new...
Oh, the new dice roller.
A new dice roller.
Did the text command still work?
I don't know.
Let's see. /R spacebar.
Dear listeners, roll 20 updated. Please.
Yeah, roll 20 updated. So that's a 21.
With a 21, you get the vibe that she is telling the truth, like, to the best of her ability, but she doesn't understand Crystalborn. She doesn't understand the priesthood or whatever she's talking about. She seems to be missing some information about the Court of the Crystal Crown and all that stuff. Seems like she has some gaps in her knowledge there.
In her knowledge. But she's being honest as far as she knows.
She does seem like she's being honest as far as she knows.
Okay.
Would you like us to go tell Christopher's siblings from here?
She puts her hand up and shakes her head no, and she's like, no, I'll do that. It's a family affair. I do appreciate your gentle nature and the way you broke it to me. I suppose I do thank you for that. I just know I'm gonna be a wreck as soon as y'all leave.
He meant a great deal to us all. His loss was deeply felt.
He was just simply too young. He had his whole life ahead of him.
He did.
The time that we spend is a gift. And Ferric is going to put their hand on her shoulder and very gently squeeze and move to stand up and wait by the stairs.
I follow.
Same.
Bye, Mrs. Stonehall.
Well, it was a pleasure to meet y'all. Come back anytime. You're welcome to stay here. The tavern in town is a travesty. We have plenty of extra rooms here. I'd love to host.
Perhaps when the grief is not quite so fresh, we would not impose upon your hospitality at a time like this.
And she just looks at you guys and she's like, it wouldn't be an imposition. Honestly, I feel like this is where you should be. I mean, you're the friends of Christopher, my son, and this is his house.
Ferric is gonna look at the group and then look back at Laura and kind of look at the group and give like a little bit of a nod towards her.
Pickles is shaking her head no.
I nod.
We can grab our bags from the tavern.
Ferric gives please eyes to Pickles. Big round pleading
She just
eyes.
sighs and looks at the floor. She knows she's been outvoted.
Ferric gives a miniature clap, like a golf clap.
If you are certain, Mrs. Stonehall.
We can
Yeah.
regale you some stories of your heroic son.
She stands up and she's like, well, I think that sounds like a great idea. It's just what the doctor ordered. And she'll kind of dust herself off. And she's like, now, if you excuse me, I've got some rooms to prepare. And she walks in.
Alright, so we should probably give her a few hours to undoubtedly grieve, as well as do whatever preparations. I need to make my way into town to try to get more information. Does anybody want to follow, or?
Well, should we go and look for Scamandius, do you think?
No.
No?
He'll find us. He always does.
This is true. We have enough leads to follow as it is now.
Oh, why don't we
Alright.
find where the Rocker Bristol is?
Also, we don't need to introduce Scamandius to the weaving rich widow.
No.
Right.
I
Also,
was more concerned about just making sure we knew where he was so that we could keep him away.
But
But
that means he knows where we are, and
so true. All
we should
right.
investigate Griffinstone Hall.
that was a lot to unpack, actually. Did Christopher, as we're walking back into town,
Yeah.
did Christopher ever tell any of you that? About becoming a priest and doing crystalline rituals?
I mean, we all knew he was a person of faith.
Did you not also know he was crystal-born? I thought that came up in one of Pickles' drawings.
Until the very end.
Yeah.
But he wasn't crystal-born, that's what I'm saying. I was assuming that his mother might have some similar ancestry. But it sounds like that wasn't the case, that whatever the Temple of the Crystal Crown is doing, they're infusing people with crystalline energy somehow. That doesn't seem... That's not something I've ever heard of. Is it?
I also made a ton of
Cody?
money off of it too.
No,
I
you've
thought the
never
money
really heard
became
of that.
before that.
But whatever they're doing, it clearly gave Christopher power beyond what a normal person is capable of. Look what he did for Pickles.
I
And she
believe
was
it is-
so changed by it.
I believe it may be some sort of process of microdosing what Zeus did to himself. Because that is the only other instance where we have witnessed creature to crystal contact in mass amount. We have done such in small amounts, but maybe there is a way to control it. We also did such in a very unsavory manner.
All right, so
You do
What are we-
remember that Zeus, that those crystal drug dealers said that it was going to boost Zeus's army.
mhm.
But when
Yeah.
you did the drugs, they didn't really seem to give you any kind of an enhancement.
Have you tried out the Crystalborn?
I'm not taking those drugs.
Just
We don't have any left. Ferric took the last of it.
Oh, well, I'm not
Correct.
doing... Even if we find more, I'm not doing that, just to be extremely clear.
That's fine.
Okay. So, Christopher's father made a great deal of money trafficking in crystals?
Or Crystalborns.
Have we seen any other crystal born in Everton?
Mm.
Ugh, I don't want to think so poorly of Christopher's father.
Is there anything in town as we're kind of like walking by that catches our attention? I want to make sure that like, because Ferric is eyeing out for like just a snake cultist to like walk right by.
Mhm.
Like that's what
Mm.
Ferric is like expecting. But is there any like the streets seem to be pretty dead lately. I was just wondering if there's anything that oh my goodness, Cody is rolling dice.
Oh dear.
Always a good sign.
Always a
Oh,
great
so
Yeah, there's a
many,
snake
there's so
cultist,
many.
and there's Scamandius, and there's Starseant. They're just all walking by.
They're all
they're
here.
all making out. They're
So,
They're
all
all making out.
as you walked from the tavern to Stonehall Manor, you saw a lot of people heading towards the fields. You didn't really see anything too interesting then. As you were leaving, the one thing that I think would be particularly strange is how the streets are empty again. Like, it's work time now or whatever, and there's no
Yeah.
one here.
I was gonna ask if I could do a check. It might be belated now. some sort of check to see if there's something weird about the huge shift between you saying everyone was so cheerful last night, that they were like happy with their lot in life and celebrating, and that everyone seemed so downtrodden this morning? Was that weird, or was that just like, it's Monday morning and I have to go to work?
I mean, it definitely kind of feels like it's Monday morning and I have to go to work.
Oh, okay.
But that on crack. Like,
On
that
crystal.
times 10.
Okay.
Like, that feeling, but they're, like, not happy with their lot in life. And they're...
Even though they
really-
seemed perfectly happy last night.
Last night, yeah.
Okay. Do you think that's odd? Is there something strange happening here?
Yes, their snake cult is somewhere.
Right.
Beyond
I
that,
know.
yes,
Beyond that,
their behavior.
Serfdom does suck. I will tell you that.
I mean, I feel like we're way past judging what's normal or what's weird anymore.
I know you said you wanted to go into town. I might go see where they were all going on their way this morning with that dour look on their faces.
Would
By
you
yourself?
like company?
Anyone can come with me, but something strange is happening.
We all go together. There's a snake cult like near us.
That's fair. Do you want to do that first or go into town?
I am indifferent. As long as we move forward, I am happy.
Can I roll something to see, like, can I follow where everybody was heading? I know you said everyone was heading, like, west.
So,
I
Yeah.
think they were going
South.
from west to south.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think you even need to roll necessarily. You just remember where they kind
Okay.
of were going.
I want to see where all these people are. There's no one in the street, right?
Mhm.
Where is everyone?
I mean, are there like shops and stuff as we're walking through the town? Like, are
Yeah,
there
there are
people
some
working
shops.
in the shops?
Yeah, there are people in the shops.
Okay, so people are doing their day job. There's just not
Mm-hmm.
people walking around.
As you are, well, I was gonna say, as you are walking into town from Stonehall Manor, you see Brahm just kind of whistling a tune, walking through the streets, minding his own.
Eric, last night he told me to tell you that what you said was not nice.
Oh, well, I know that. Does he think I am stupid on top of all of that?
I'm just conveying a message that he asked me to convey. I'm a man of my word.
Okay, I will be nice to the kazoo man because that is how we do things,
It is.
I suppose.
Since when?
I don't know. Since all the guilt in my heart.
You just avoid them.
Good morning, Brahm. Adalia
Hmm.
waves.
Kind of stops and looks over, like he was shocked that someone said something to him, and then he like, "Oh, it's you. Good morning." And kind of
Good
like continues to
morning.
go about his business.
Hello.
Adalia's gonna hurry over to catch up with him.
Oh, no, don't.
She really likes this guy. I don't get it.
Brahm, could I ask you a question?
I suppose I'm off to get my clothing pressed, but what
Oh.
can I do for you?
Well, I don't want to keep you from your very important errand, but where is everyone?
I don't know. Probably toiling away like the peasants they are.
Is the town always this empty?
He looks around. He says, "It seems pretty nice to me. I don't really like the crowds.
Insight check?
Mornstead's always so filthy. There's always people running around, like errand boys in the Jeweled Quarter. Like, what? Who thought of such a thing? Who let that happen? Mornstead's gone so far down. Everton is so much nicer."
Can I insight check him?
Yeah.
I'm gonna guide myself. Ugh, terrible. Well, not terrible. 17 plus 3, 20.
Yeah, he genuinely seems to have some, like, disdain for the crowds of Mornstead and all the... Even the rich people or whatever. He's just like, there's just too many of them. He's like,
He doesn't think this
just-
is weird? This empty city?
He doesn't seem to. He seems to just enjoy it.
Alright. Well, I hope you enjoy your laundering.
Yes, I have many errands today. I've got to pick up my groceries. I've got to get my clothing pressed. I've got to have my sword sharpened for a very important appointment that I have by the end of the week.
Fascinating. Well, good luck on all of that.
I suppose good luck to you too on whatever you find yourselves doing. He looks and he's like, "Are you you're alone with him right now?"
Yeah,
like,
I just
crew is
kinda like-
off.
Yeah, darted over.
He kind
I'd
of
like
gets
to
a
think
very
we're, like,
frank
10
look on
feet
his
away.
face and says, What do you see in that bird person?"
I heard that.
It would take me much longer than you have before your sword sharpening appointment to explain to you what I see in Ferric.
He kind of stands up tall as he can, and he kind of unbuttons one of his, like, collar buttons, and he says, "I'll have you know that I have my pick of the ladies here in Everton."
Oh, no
Ferric
doubt.
slaps their knees, like hunched over, just heaving, laughing.
"So if you ever want to ditch that loser, you're welcome to join me for dinner anytime you'd like."
Adalia's trying really hard not to laugh in this guy's face. What an offer. Thank you for letting me know, but I would never deprive the ladies of Everton of your company.
I'm open to threesomes.
Oh, how charming. I think your laundry appointment is happening like right now, and we have places to be.
No, we don't.
Hmm.
I'm free on tomorrow.
Oh, we're busy tomorrow.
No, we're not.
Hey, you take one of us, you take all of us, okay, bud?
Mm.
Ferric, I can silence him if you want.
Did
Just
not
let me know.
agree.
Oh no, this is great. This is wonderful.
I got a Javanos pepper lock and loaded right now.
You know-
Just let me know.
Brom, you only found out yesterday that your fiance had died. And it's really not a good idea to, start something new when you're grieving. You need time to process and be on your own.
I find the best way to move on is through new relationships.
It's honestly true.
Right.
That's right.
Maybe that's what I should do.
Hey, you have any paint to paint a little flag red so that we can just stick it on him?
Brom, I really do appreciate the offer of dinner, and you will have to let me think about it. You'd better go to your laundry appointment, though.
All right, well, I will be on my way.
All right, goodbye. And then Adalia
I shall
runs
be
back.
at the Steer's Head Tavern if you change your mind.
Mhm.
Don't you show your face in my tavern.
It's my tavern, and I will be back tonight to reclaim my spot, bird person.
We should get our things from the tavern, like, soon, so
Yes,
that we don't have to
yesterday.
go back tonight.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
hmm Yeah, so Adalia scurries off to rejoin everybody. And
You really
put
think
that
Brom
up.
was having threesomes?
Oh, yeah.
No.
I thought of
He-
it just
in his mind.
You think he was having
Oh.
twosomes?
No.
I think he was having one sums.
That would be my guess also.
Likely.
My goodness. Sorry.
Not
promise
that
this
that is the measure of a person, but
Of course, of course.
to propose oneself so expertly as he did.
It is certainly not the measure of a person, but could it be the measure of this particular person?
Yes.
I think so.
absolutely.
Right. Anyway, should we
our
find
stuff-
some snake cultists or something? Anything other than hanging out with Brom, I think.
Yes.
I mean, that was great. I don't even remember what we were doing.
Yes.
Just get our stuff and move to the next mission, I
Yeah.
guess.
We're gonna head back to the tavern, get our stuff, and then
Move to the stub halts.
yeah, I think while Ferric is at the tavern, they are going to start hitting up one of the bar folk there.
The bar folk.
Is
Yeah.
there any particular person that looks perhaps seedier than the others?
Do you
Seedier.
think my family's here? If we ask.
Oh, yes, that is a excellent point, Pickles. Can I have a cold glass of water?
Miles, the bartender, will kind of give you a raised eyebrow, side eye, and then look everyone up and down, and then kind of stop at Pickles, and then
She just waves.
he kind of, I mean, you see him, he's like pausing, he goes to say something, and then he pauses, and he just sighs and says, "Are you with Oasis?"
I'm pretty sure you're not supposed to just ask that. Isn't that against the rules?
Yeah,
Isn't that the
but
whole
that's why
point of
I'm
the cold
asking,
glass of
because
water?
if I let you guys back there and you guys ain't, then I'm gonna be in a lot of trouble, aren't I?
I
But if
mean,
you
it's kind of.
said-
Ferric asked for a cold glass of water. It's supposed to be the coldest glass of water. So, like,
See, but you knew that.
yeah, but you shouldn't have just came out and said, like, you, like. They're gonna be real mad at you.
Well,
Either way now. Whether or not we are.
And I actually have a cold glass of water, too.
But,
Yeah, we are so
but we are. You could let us. Who's back there? Actually, don't tell us, because that'll get you in more trouble.
yeah, don't
Just
tell
show
him I
us.
fucked up as bad as I did. All right, it's only happened to me like 3 times.
That's fair. I won't tell them.
Leave
All
them.
right. Oh God. And he kind of looks around and he says, "There's all these people in here, though. I can't just let you back there, or else they're gonna know something's up. I never let anyone back here."
Then
Is there, like, a
right-
window we can crawl through?
He kind of nods and he's like, "Yeah, let me go unlock the window." And he like walks into the back. He walks back to the front. He's like, "Oh, I'm so glad you guys didn't just walk back there without me permission. I like you guys more and more every day.
Good.
don't tell him how much I charged you for the room and the drinks and the food, because I didn't know this is who you guys were. All right, I feel like I've made a really big mistake without knowing I made the mistake, and we're just gonna move on.
Honestly,
right?
you did
this
so
is-
much better than the last woman. She was horrible. So like you're doing great.
All right, well, water's all around. And he starts pouring you guys waters. It's like, I don't have any ice, so it's not the coldest, or even that cold.
We're fine. I promise.
Well, drink your waters and sneak around back and go through the window on the left. If you're from the main side, it's in the back on the left.
Ferric does a curtsy and walks out of the bar. Having first consumed their glass of water and thrown the glass.
Everyone hydrate. Yeah.
All right, you guys step out into the street. You walk around the side of the building. There's no one out in the street to really see you go around the side of the building. So you just kind of walk around, and you see the window that he was talking about. It is open. And I think that is where we're going to end for tonight. You look through the window. It is dark.
Just throw me through.
Oh God.
Tie you to a brick and then just chuck you.
Wow. Well, thanks for joining me, everybody. I had a lot of fun in Everton here. Stuff's just getting rolling. Just starting to figure out all the craziness that's happening here in town. Thanks for watching, everybody. Thanks for listening. We are live on YouTube every other Sunday, 7 p.m. EST. So if you'd like to watch us, you can join us then. If not, just happy to have you listening. If you want to, you can come hang out with us on Discord. Discord.gg/The Homebrew Podcast. We have a pretty awesome community growing. Come check it out. Come tell Ambrose that you think he should have taken the deal with the Prince. Because, I mean, that was a pretty good deal. I don't know why
It was
he
a
didn't
good
take
deal.
that deal. If you got a few extra gold lying around and you aren't worried about what country you're in and currency and exchange rates, check out our Patreon. Patreon.com/The Homebrew Podcast. Patreon.com/The Homebrew. $2 gets you access to all kinds of cool stuff. You get PDFs, wallpapers. There's some behind the scenes stuff that you can still check out on there. Power Word Chill from back in the day. Our podcast here is a homebrew podcast, and like all homebrew podcasts, our sponsor is fanrolldice.com. Go get yourself some dice. Promo code homebrew at checkout for 10% off everything on the whole site. And remember, you are loved. You are loved as much as the crew loves to hit up the tavern on their first night in town and get blasted and drink
Got it.
away.
Reasonable this time, I felt like.
Yeah.
You're important. You're as important as the soul of Eugene, which seems to be the linchpin between, the most important deity on the planet and the crew here, and their very survival, possibly. And you matter. You matter as much as destroying this snake cult matters. And hopefully we get to the bottom of that next week. See everybody then.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Yeah.